Again, so the pitch obviously very soft on top. Could be still hard underneath though, and could get very slippery and cut up as the game goes on. Zale now for Dusseldorf. Number 8 there. That's Schmitz. Flicked header into the side netting. Nearest the camera there, the Dusseldorf coach. That was Dieter Tippenhauer. Paul Breitner. Let's see how Bayern Munich get over this early setback. They are, of course, a very experienced team. Most successful West German side ever in international competitions. 3 times winner in succession of the European Champions Cup, and also winner of the European Cup Winners' Cup, winner of the World Cup for clubs as well. So they won't be too worried about an early setback like that. Zale, good tackle. Oblak brought down there, so free kick for Bayern Munich. Now I've had a chance to get my breath back. Let me give you the teams with their positions and numbers. Dusseldorf playing with Daniel in goal. Jörg Daniel, by the way, the reserve goalkeeper. The number 1 goalkeeper, Wilfried Voiker, is at present injured. So Daniel, though, who's played in quite a few National League games, very reliable goalkeeper. He's in goal, and then the back 4 of Dieter Brey, number 2. Gert Saver, the captain, number 3. Gert Zimmermann, number 4. Let's just watch this cross there from Oblak, but not a good one. And then Baltes, number 5. Zimmermann on the ball now, by the way. In midfield, Weichel, number 7, Kernen, number 6, and Klaus Allofs, number 10. The 3 front runners, Schmitz, number 8, Günther, number 9, and Zale, number 11. That's Zale on the ball there, brought down by number 3 for Bayern, that's Udo Horstmann. Let's just watch this free kick. And the man coming up to take it is the man who's got one of the hardest shots in the game, Gert Zimmermann. He'll probably try one from there. Here he goes. Oh, against the post, the outside of the post. What an effort that was. Well, I said he had a rocket of a shot, and he certainly proved it there. He's a big boy, Gert Zimmermann. And again, though, Sepp Maier, the Bayern goalkeeper, was standing still and watching it. But still, no, Maier in goal for Bayern. Jol, number 2, the right back. Schwarzenbeck, number 4, Augenthaler, number 5, Horstmann, number 3. In midfield, Niedermeyer, number 6, Breitner, number 8, and Oblak, number 10. And the 3 front runners, Dürrenberger, 7, Jansson, 9, in place of the injured Gerd Müller, and Rummenigge, 11. Just doing his boot up and pulling his sock up there is Gert Zimmermann. Free kick for Dusseldorf. Gert Zimmermann still having trouble. Here's that scene again. There you saw how Rummenigge took Zimmermann's legs. Egon Kernen getting a bit thin on top now. He's like me, but he's a bit younger than I am. Not as old as he looks, actually, Egon Kernen. Kernen. Coming at the far post there, but not fast enough, was Weichel. There's Josef Weichel, number 7 for Dusseldorf. Sepp Maier, of course, 34 years of age, but he himself says he's like good wine. The older he gets, the better he gets. Played in 91 internationals for West Germany. Not only a great goalkeeper, but a wonderful character as well. Rummenigge. He's got Baltes marking him very closely, but Rummenigge very difficult, very powerful thighs, difficult to get off the ball. Breitner with a chance. Paul Breitner running beautifully into the open space there. There's the pass from Rummenigge, right through into the path of Breitner. Hits it first time with his left foot, but it screws a bit off the outside of his boot. Daniel diving over there, but as you saw, the ball going about a metre wide of the post. Gate saver, then Kernan, Balters. Gate saver, by the way, number 3 there. Member of the current West German national squad, Gerd Zimmermann. Zimmermann. Schmitz. And Meyer, but Schmitz there first. Gets the ball back in, there's the header! And Sepp Meyer, what a save! Schmitz again though. Now the ball over the line. But what a save that was by Sepp Meyer. Amazing reactions there to that header. Niedermeyer. Branko Oblak. Oblak, who's formed a good partnership actually. But now number 9, Jansson. Oh, it must be, yes it is! Augenthaler, look at Julian Laurent. Here's to the camera there, the Hungarian coach of Bayern Munich. Here's the move, Jansson could have shot himself, but a beautiful pass right into the path of Augenthaler. All he had to do was slide it home. Well, I was saying earlier that Bayern are used to that kind of setback, an early shot goal. They wouldn't let it upset them, and they certainly haven't done. They've come back with a bang, 1-1 now. Schmitz.
23. Spielminute, Ausgleich zum 1:1. Torschütze für den FC Bayern München.
Schwarzenbeck at the back there.
Nummer 5.
Very experienced defender, of course. Now Paul Breitner. I was starting to say that Oblak and Breitner have struck up a pretty good partnership in midfield. A lovely back heel there by Rummenigge. There's the score, 1-1. Paul Breitner, who at the start of this season came back to Bayern Munich after spending time with Real Madrid and also with Brunswick. He's come back to Bayern. He's made a difference to the team because Bayern could only finish 12th in the league last season. But as I was saying, they're up there with the leaders now in 4th place. And here come Bayern again with Jol. Right across the face of the goal, and Dieter Bry there at that far post. Or from the camera angle at the near post now, of course. Having to give away a corner, which Oblak takes quickly. Horseman. Zimmermann heading clear, but the whistle had gone. Must have been offside. There's Jörg Daniel, who of course had no chance at all with that Bayern equaliser. Gerd Zimmermann. Sever. Rainer Balters. Zale. Wolfgang Zale. And it's there! Number 2! Klaus Allofs again. Beautiful running by him. He saw Zale going down the left. Watch how Zale there beats Augenthaler. The lovely cross, and Allofs coming in like a rocket. Took it on the volley. No chance again for Sepp Meyer. And Klaus Allofs has got his second goal and Dusseldorf's second goal. 2-1 for the home side.
2:1 für Fortuna Dusseldorf.
So it's all happening here in the Rhine Stadium. Actually, we had plenty of goals last season as well when these two teams met here. Dusseldorf coming out on top then by 4 goals to 2. Free kick for Bayern. Breitner's there, ready to take it. Paul Breitner always in a hurry. Oh, what a save there by Daniel. He didn't know it, I don't think, though. He just got in the way of it. But anyway, the whistle had gone. I'd missed that as well, actually. So much noise here now after those goals in the Rhine Stadium. And you can hear the Dusseldorf fans singing their heads off now. Gerd Zimmermann. Schmidt, good running by him. Oh, and Sackmeyer. Gunther was coming in there. But Schmidt's looking very quick indeed down that left flank. He's interchanging well with Zale. Rummenigge and again Baltes with him. Baltes knows how dangerous Rummenigge could be. Horseman with the throw-in. And Oblak. Augenthaler, the goal scorer, but a good tackle by Alox. And Kernan. Schmitz. Some beautiful play here by Dusseldorf, but a good tackle this time by Augenthaler. Play really fast and furious, it's all happening. Gunther. Gunther! Oh, just past the post, and Gunther annoyed with himself. He was so near and yet so far. Gunther beats his man well. There's the shot. Just curving wide of Meyer and wide of that far post as well. Jol, the young Dutch international, very skillful footballer, and Schwarzenbeck. Zale back there helping out in defence. Kernan and Alox. Dusseldorf really finding their men well. Zale trying to make room for a shot. Couldn't do it though, as you can see. And now Paul Breitner. Dürnberger. Niedermeyer. Branko Oblak, Yugoslav international. And Schmitz. That was a bad pass to save it actually, but he did well to keep possession. And Zale. Dieter Bry, fine utility player. Halof's the goal scorer. Weichel, and that was Seppmeyer having to go down again there.
Achtung, Herr Dieter und
Seppmeier is shaking his head.
Dieter und Uwe.
I don't think he's very happy with the defenders in front of him.
Rufen Sie sofort zu Hause an.
Wants somebody at that near post. Here's the corner. Now Rummenigge. All Black controlling the ball beautifully. Rummenigge again. Niedermeyer to All Black. There's Martin Jol, the Dutchman. Looking a foul, but the referee allowing play to go on. That's Josef Weichel. Gerd Saver. Saver, a very intelligent player. But now on Black. The good ball to Jansson, the centre forward. That wasn't such a good ball. Klaus Allofs. And Egon Kernan. Roar of disappointment from the crowd there. Hoping somebody would run onto that through pass from Egon Kernan. Udo Horstmann. Breitner switching play. Good running there by Augenthaler, the goal scorer. Schmitz. There's Julia Laurent. Looking very unhappy at the moment, looking very annoyed. Free kick for Bayern. But of course, his side are only 2-1 down. Anything can happen at the moment. There's a long way to go yet. Paul Breitner with his free kick. Horstmann, oh, what a save by Daniel! Yeah, Daniel, what a great save that was. The incidents happened with a little bit of pushing at the other end of the pitch, which the crowd didn't like, which the referee didn't see. Neither did our cameraman. Jörg Daniel, what a great save that was, though, to that shot from Udo Horstmann. There's Horstmann in the screen now, by the way, on your picture. Number 3 for Bayern. Really hit that ball on the volley. Klaus Allofs held back there, I thought so anyway. I thought he was held back by Niedermeyer. But the referee didn't. He's the man who counts. He's the man who's got the whistle. But he didn't use it on that occasion. Rummenigge now. And a good tackle from Baltes. Rummenigge saying, where was the support? I had nobody to lay it back to. All Black with the corner. Just before half-time, and Zale back to his keeper. Jörg Daniel. That's it. There goes the half-time whistle. So in the Rhine Stadium, after a very eventful first half, the score is Fortuna Dusseldorf 2, Bayern Munich 1. And now...
have with the smiling goddess of art. And the exhibition clearly shows the tendencies of the modernists. They range from humorous parodies to ugly dismantlings. The attack was opened in 1919 by Marcel Duchamp as he altered the Mona Lisa by adding a mustache, and ended with the divine smile appearing on advertising posters and merchandise of today. The contest that was intended as a promotional gag by the exhibit organizers had over 800 entries and was won by this lucky young lady. The shipbuilding industry throughout the world is caught in a serious crisis. With the reduction of tanker construction, all shipyards are looking for a way out of their dilemma. A chance of survival seems to be the construction of special ships, like this hydro-hopper barge, which consists of 2 separate pontoons that can be separated hydraulically on the ship's bottom. This kind of bottom dump barge was developed in Germany and is now being built under license in 25 countries. A large version of the ship costs about $5 million. This is another very special ship built in Germany called Gollerfries. It is a liquid gas turbine tanker which is owned by an American-Norwegian company. Under its present charter, the tanker carries natural gas from Borneo to Japan. In each of her 5 spherical tanks, the Gollerfries can carry 25,000 cubic meters of liquid natural gas, which when cooled to minus 162 degrees centigrade has a volume 600 times less than in the gaseous state. There's very little port time for this kind of tanker because loading and unloading can be done unusually quick. The building costs of a tanker this size would be approximately $120 million today.
You can see that fountain, that jet of water, really soaring up into the air here at the Rhine Stadium. What's happened is one of these sprinklers has burst. One of the sprinklers that should go into operation when the pitch is too dry. But one of the thermostats has gone out of order and has set the sprinkler into action, which has delayed the start of the second half. There's Julia Laurent there looking for something. I'm not quite sure if he's found it or not. Maybe he's looking for a few substitutes to bring on. But everything's been brought under control now after that eventful half-time interval, where we had a few cats and dogs running out onto the pitch to get a bath. And Dusseldorf have kicked off, have restarted play now at the start of the second half. As far as I can see, no substitutes have been brought on. So both teams exactly the same as went into the dressing room at half-time. Well, the pitch actually was pretty damp beforehand, but in that one certain spot, it must be even damper now. Alofs. Oh, and Meyer was lucky there. No, it's not a goal. The ball had gone out of play. Goal kick. Dernberger. Rummenigge. Zale. He's got Sever outside him. Dieter Brey brought down by Dernberger. Dieter Brey actually can play as a fullback or in midfield. And there's Gerd Zimmermann again. You may remember that he hit the post from about this range in the first half with a free kick. He tries one again. Oh, and Sapphire! What a shot that man's got. Must be a corner. Yes, it is. It's already taken. Schmitz. Then Meyer. Those huge gloves of his and his slightly longer shorts than most goalkeepers wear. Dürnberger. Jol. Rummenigge. Good tackle by Baltes. Baltes certainly hasn't given Rummenigge much room today. But of course he can't afford to. Must be a foul. Yes, it is. Obstruction. Now Rummenigge with room. Dieter Brey coming back very quickly after that bad pass. Dürnberger. It's going to be a corner. Breitner. Oblak. Haven't really seen all that much of him so far. He's been on the ball quite a bit, but when he's been on it, he hasn't been able to do all that much with it. Breitner. And Jol. Augenthaler. That was definitely a foul there on Gerd Zimmermann. Won't worry the big fellow, though. Sever to Zimmermann. Zimmermann with a good pass to Günther. Klaus Allofs. Zale. It's not offside. It's a goal. 3-1. Zale has scored. The Bayern defenders were standing still. Here's Allofs. And there's the pass. And Zale certainly wasn't offside when the pass was given. And this is what counts. Not when he received the pass, but when the pass was made by Allofs. So that's it. 3-1. Jol, Schwarzenbeck up there, and Rummenigge, and they both missed it. But the Bayern defender stood still as Zale took that pass from Allofs. But what a game Klaus Allofs is having. He scored the first two, he's made the third. Play on, says the linesman. It looks to me as if Bayern have decided to play an offside trap at the back, which in these kind of slippery conditions can always be very dangerous indeed. Breitner. Schwarzenbeck now moving upfield a lot. He's got to, of course, because his side are 3-1 down. And Baltes. What a good pass. Dusseldorf really using their wings today. Can Kernan get to that? Can he keep it in? Yes, he can. This time, actually, Zale was offside.
Achtung, Herr Hans-Jürgen
Sepp
Krämer.
Meyer there waving at the linesman because he was a bit slow putting his flag up. Niedermeyer to Breitner. Horstmann. Misunderstanding there between Horstmann and Breitner. Bry. Sever. Zale. Way offside this time, no doubt at all about that one. But it's obvious now that Bayern are employing the offside trap. Well, it's failed once already. They have to be careful that it doesn't fail again. Good tackle by Zimmermann. Just listen to those Dusseldorf fans. Oblak with the corner. Schwarzenbeck and Breitner. Schwarzenbeck again. Play on, says the referee, not handball. Zale, right through. Not offside again, he's right through. And he's beaten Sepp Meyer. And it's in the net. Number 4, and again the scorer is Wolfgang Zale. Well, there's the slow motion, there's the action replay. Sepp Meyer right up to the edge of his area. He makes a despairing dive, but Zale goes past him.
68. Spielminute.
And again, Zale wasn't offside because at the moment the ball was passed, Zale was still in his own half. And then burst right through.
Wiederum Wolfgang Zale.
So that's 4-1. And I really can't see Bayern coming back now. But of course, they're not the team to give up. I can remember once, actually, they were 5-1 down and then gained a 5-all draw. If my memory is correct, I think that was in Schalke a couple of seasons ago. Bry. Schmitz. Oh, chance here for Sever. Headed off the line. But anyway, dangerous play there by Gunter. Gets Sever. The Dusseldorf sweeper suddenly appeared from nowhere. And Dusseldorf now are starting to take Bayern to pieces a bit. 4-1 the score. Down goes Oblak, and the referee blows. Schwarzenbeck, will he try one? He does. Georg Schwarzenbeck, ex-West German international, member, of course, of the World Cup winning side in 1974. He's been around a few years as well. Very hard, rock-like centre-back. Oh, good play there by Weichel. And Zimmermann. And of course, what's happening now is that things are really going well for Dusseldorf. And of course, this gives the players extra confidence. It gives them confidence to try things which they wouldn't normally try, and they're really paying off now for Dusseldorf. Good tackle by Horseman. Dürnberger. Yule. Pushed the ball just a little bit too far in front of him. Baltes. Breitner. There's Zale up there again, but this time he couldn't quite make it. Schmitz. Bry. Egon Kernan and Seppmeyer. Schwarzenbeck. Alofs. And Zale again. No, he's not offside. Well, this is incredible. Oh, and down he goes. It must be a penalty. Yes, it is. But again, at the moment, the ball was passed. It looked to me anyway as if Zale was onside. But the linesman was right up with play, and there's the man who's going to take the penalty, Gerd Zimmermann. He doesn't even take a run-up. Oh! What a shot! What a rocket! Seppmeyer couldn't have seen it. Zimmermann. And if this goes on, I'm going to need a pocket computer to keep the score. 5-1 now. Seppmeyer can't believe it. Look at him. 3 times he's saying he's allowed Zale to come through. But 3 times, in my opinion, it was bad mistakes by the Bayern defence, playing the offside trap, but not playing it well enough. Breitner. They say that lightning actually doesn't strike twice, but it struck 3 times here in the Rhine Stadium this afternoon, because 3 times Wolfgang Zale was allowed to break through. Twice he scored himself. 3rd time he was brought down. And as you saw, Gerd Zimmermann hit that tremendous shot into the corner of the net. I can imagine that Seppmeyer was glad he didn't get a hand to it, because he would have probably taken his hand off. There's Zimmermann. Schmitz, who's really having a great match. Alofs. It's in the net. Look at Seppmeyer. It's in the net again. There's Alofs. Right through on his own. Beats 2 men. There's the shot. The ball comes back out. And there's Gunter. Well, 6-1 the score. And in all the hustle and bustle and all the goal scoring, I forgot to tell you that 2 substitutes have come on. 1 for Dusseldorf and 1 for Bayern. Both number 12. Flemming Lund, the Danish international, has come on in place of Zale, but a chance here for Rummenigge over the top. Karl-Heinz Rummenigge. There he is. Bounces the ball over Daniel and over the bar. There's Jörg Daniel. But Flemming Lund has come on in the Dusseldorf team, number 12, for Zale. Not because Zale was having such a bad game, but because the coach, Dieter Tippenhauer, obviously wants to rest him now for the next match. I think everybody must realise that it's all over here now, bar the shouting. 6-1. Who would have thought that possible, especially at half-time, when it was fairly even, and 2-1 was just the score for Dusseldorf. And Bayern have also brought on a substitute. Jupp Kapelman, number 12, has come on in place of Dernberger, number 7. Although I think Julia Lauren could bring on a complete new team, it wouldn't make much difference to the result of this game. There's Schmitz again. He's really made some beautiful running this afternoon. Into the open space, down the flanks, offside. Sepp Meyer actually giving the linesman a round of applause. That's typical Sepp Meyer. Doing it very friendly, though. Horseman. And that's to nobody in particular. Number 12 there, you can see for Bayern, that's Jupp Kapelman. Not a very enviable position for him because there's not much he can do now. Flemming Lund. Not a bad substitute to bring on either of those two players, actually. Both internationals. Flemming Lund, a current member of the Danish national team. Gerd Sever. Sever who's really controlled things at the back for Dusseldorf. Has also found time to move forward, not offside. And of course, actually, Flemming Lund is a very similar player to Wolfgang Zehl. Likes to use the wings, likes to break through the middle as well, though, and he's very fast, like Zehl. So again, Bayern will still have to watch that offside trap. And offside traps are always very dangerous to play when the opposition have got a quick forward who can suddenly break through. Beautiful play there by Klaus Allofs. There's Allofs on the ground. He's writhing in agony, but I'm sure actually he's all right. He's just taking a quick rest. It's a bit of a wet spot to do it there, actually, because that's where the sprinkler went mad during the half-time interval. Offside. Flemming Lund offside there. Dieter Tippenhahn here's the camera, who must be very pleased indeed. 6-1 the score. The cameraman there getting a close-up of Julia Laurent. I shouldn't imagine he'll get much of a smiling face now. Actually, Julia Laurent showing a fair bit of sense of humour there. I suppose there's not much else he can do in a case like this. Bayern really are an amazing team. They've scored 6 or 7 goals against a couple of teams this season themselves. And now they've had 6 scored against them. Schmitz. This time beaten by Kapelman. Good running here by Breitner. Paul Breitner. And Daniel again. Paul Breitner. He'll keep going all the time. Whether it's 6-1 or 16-1, he's that type of player. All those dogs wagging their tails there, they must be Dusseldorf dogs. Now it's Sever. Kapellman. Yo. Rummenigge. Trying to turn for a shot. Too many Dusseldorf defenders there. Fleming Lunt. Schmitz. Alofs and Seppmeier. Really having to reach out for that one. But that's the kind of character Seppmeier is. He can still laugh even though he's had 6 goals put past him. Breitner. Breitner again. Paul Breitner. Must be a bit despairing for him. He's certainly run his heart out in this game. But he does in every game, actually. Fleming Lunt. There's Günther, and it's there! Well, this is incredible! That's number 7, I think. Yes, it is number 7, yes. What's this run here by Fleming Lunt? Goes past Horstmann as if he wasn't there. Great running by Günther towards the far post.
87. Spielminute.
And there's the header.
Neuer Spielstand.
No chance at all, of course, for Seppmeier.
Torschütze wiederum.
He looks at it and he watches it. The ball going into the back of the net off the inside of the post. 7-1 the score. I don't think Seppmeier can believe it. But it is. Dusseldorf 7, Bayern Munich 1. 2-1 at half-time. 5 more so far in this second half. Rummenigge. Kapellman. Well, there have been 1 or 2 cases where fortune has smiled on Fortuna Dusseldorf today, but still, 7-1's the score. Lunt not offside. Chance here for Weichel. Fleming Lunt. Schmitz. Klaus Alofs. Oblak nearly handled the ball. Zimmerman! Well, that wasn't far off being number 8. Tremendous effort again there from Gerd Zimmerman. Julia Laurent there. Just listen to those jubilant Dusseldorf fans. 27,000, 26,000, making a noise like 50,000. But they've certainly got plenty to shout about, even if Dieter Tippenhauer, the Dusseldorf coach, isn't smiling. But a minute or so left to play. And away goes Weichel. Is this going to be number 8? Alofs, who's really played like an international today. Gert Saver. Bry. Lunt, Dusseldorf, turning it about, turning it on, spraying passes like a grandmaster on a chessboard. And Sepp Maier still grinning, still laughing. Rummenigge. Jansson. Kapellman. Would have been better off having a go himself. He's got nothing to lose now anyway. Well, what a match this has been. It got off to an incredible start through that goal from Klaus Allofs after only 35 seconds. Bayern equalised through Augenthaler. But that's the only goal they've got. Whereas Dusseldorf have got another 6. Another one through Klaus Allofs. 2 from Zale, 2 from Gunter, and a penalty from Zimmermann. And over the top, that header there from Jol. 2-1 the half-time score. 5 more in the second half. And that's it. It's all over. And certainly the most fascinating and interesting and exciting match I've seen this season has ended in a 7-1 victory for Fortuna Dusseldorf against Bayern Munich.
Die Fortuna Dusseldorf schlägt den FC Bayern München mit 7:1 Toren.
Soccer Made in Germany was provided to public television by the German Educational Television Network and was made possible in part by grants from this station and other public television stations.
Administration that has a little bit of honesty and decency.
Rock climbing is one of the fastest growing sports in this country. It's dangerous, but can also be breathtakingly beautiful. Meet a man who does it for a living and also teaches others to climb. Professional guide, Paul Ross.
I've been on climbs where I had to give everything to my life to get off, everything I owned, just anything, just to get off and survive. And of course, you were stuck there. You couldn't do anything about it. You had to get yourself off. And you think, well, okay, this is it. I'm probably going to die.
These are our stories on calendar for June 6th, 1979.
Many people think that Schweppes Club Soda and ginger ale are rather expensive, possibly because of the extraordinary way we make them, with that sparkle of Schweppescence and its curiously refreshing quality. But in point of fact, Schweppes is no more expensive than other quality club sodas and ginger ales. Affordable by everyone. Schweppes Club Soda and ginger ale. Extraordinary at a very ordinary price.
You know what you could do with Mobil 1? You can now drive from New York to Los Angeles without an oil change. And back. And back again. And back. And back again. And back. And back again. And back. 25,000 miles. 25,000 miles without an oil change. That's what you can do with Mobil 1.
When your copier breaks down, it's an inconvenience. For me, it's financial disaster. Our 250 copying centers need fast, reliable copiers, because if I'm not making copies, I'm losing money. That's why I recommend Savin for all of our new centers. Savin's reliability is something I can count on. Whether it's the smallest Savin, or the copier with the document feed, or their new reduction machine. So if you need copiers in your business, Take it from someone whose business is copying.
How do you like to fly to California?
On a wide body.
How do you like to fly to California?
On a wide body.
TWA knows how you like to fly on big, comfortable wide bodies. That's why we fly wide body nonstops to Los Angeles and San Francisco. So how do you like to fly to California?
On a wide body.
Wide body.
Wide body.
Wide body, the way we fly to California every day.
The beauty of trucks is they can go anywhere roads go, moving goods and freight. But a fully loaded tractor-trailer truck can weigh over 40 tons and potentially is a very dangerous vehicle if not properly maintained and operated. Massachusetts is one of the most lenient states in the country when it comes to truck safety, and we pay the price for it.
He was heading into Boston in a big long diesel truck. It was his first trip to Boston. He was having lots of luck. He was going the wrong direction down a one-way street in town. And this is what he said when the police chased him down.
America's truck drivers. Their love affair with the open road keeps our economy moving. Trucks haul more of New England's freight than all other forms of transportation combined. Moreover, the trucking industry provides employment for almost 500,000 of the region's residents.
When he finally found where to unload, he had a dreadful shock.
But trucks also have a huge capacity for destruction. Bridges and roads crumble under their weight. And trucks are involved in 50% more fatal accidents than cars per miles traveled. Last year, there was a 12% increase in fatalities associated with truck accidents. And when trucks and cars collide, 97% of the fatalities are car occupants. But despite the enormous threat they pose, trucks traveling on our roads and highways routinely violate safety laws. Enforcement of these laws is atrocious, and Massachusetts has one of the poorest records for enforcement in the nation. This was made painfully clear 6 years ago when a gravel truck overloaded by 30 tons crashed into a support beam of the Mystic Tobin Bridge, killing the driver and knocking the bridge out of service for 3 months. The accident prompted a huge public outcry, but somehow, after nearly 2 years of hearings, the trucking industry came out ahead. Ironically, a law was passed which made it possible for Massachusetts trucks to obtain permits to carry more weight than ever before, far more weight than is allowed in most other states.
I believe the legislature, in its wisdom, considered it a trade-off because under the old law, there had been little or no enforcement of the law.
Among the bill's chief opponents was the Massachusetts Department of Public Works.
Their attitude at the time was that with the new law, we would get improved enforcement and a new fine schedule and implemented with weighing and scale equipment. And this in itself would correct the condition of excessive overloads that had been practiced in the past.
The catch was that the enforcement agencies, the state police and the registry of motor vehicles, were never given the tools to do the job, neither an adequate number of scales to weigh the trucks or sufficient manpower. In 1977, enforcement was so bad that Massachusetts was threatened with the loss of more than $1 million in federal highway funds. Safety regulations are also enforced by the Federal Department of Transportation, whose office in Massachusetts is staffed by only 3 inspectors for the entire state. Their concern is primarily the mechanical condition of trucks and driver safety. This inspection, which was filmed in April, involves 2 of the most commonly hauled hazardous cargoes, gasoline and fuel oil. Altogether that day, almost a third of the tankers stopped were put out of service. Leaky containers, bad tires, and bad brakes were among the most common violations.
All right, this track has a broken drum on it. It's broken completely through. Therefore, we consider it an eminently hazardous vehicle, and I'm going to place it out of service.
Were you aware of the fact that you had a broken drum?
Pardon me?
Were you aware of the fact that you had a broken drum? You said you thought it probably happened on the way over.
Possible.
Do you think it happened on the way over, Joe?
Well, not in my opinion, it didn't, no.
Why not?
Oh, because it's all rusty in there. The thing is rust completely through it. When something just breaks in a reasonable period of time, it has shiny parts in it. You can see where the thing is just separated or something.
representative right there.
Was this man's,
I don't want my picture
was this
taken.
man's truck inspected this morning?
Get away from me. Get away. I got rights too.
However, another spokesman for the industry would talk to us.
My first thought is that if this many trucks were put out of service and on the highway, then very possibly the drivers were not conducting their pre-trip inspections as the federal regulations require.
Bob Nash is chief lobbyist for the Massachusetts Motor Truck Association.
That if the pre-inspection is done properly, as it's set up to do under the regulations, then the driver should report these defects to the company and refuse to take the vehicle.
It's either they drive or they're fired. And matter of fact, most of the drivers that are driving these unsafe loads, such as faulty brakes and bad trucks, they have no alternative. They've got to make a living, and if they refuse to drive that truck, they're now unemployed.
Dick Nickerson was a professional driver for many years. He is now a maintenance operator for Mobile Oil. Nickerson believes that 35% of the trucks on the road today are unsafe.
Well, most of your major trucking outfits and big oil companies run equipment that meets all the requirements of the law. And they run them for the life of the equipment, maybe 4, 5, 6 years. And when they get so fatigued, the equipment itself, and gets so it's not practical to put the money into it to restore them, to make them safe, they put them up for auction and sell them to the highest bidder, which usually is a small trucking concern or an independent hauler. And he'll buy it for a low price with the intention that he cannot maintain the equipment and keep it safe. So they just run them until they completely collapse. Most of them that are sold in those conditions should be transferred right over to the junkyard. They shouldn't be allowed to be continued on the road. How they get state inspection stickers for them, I don't know.
Well, anytime any company has turnover of equipment, or what we call in our industry an equipment replacement program, they're obviously not going to junk a vehicle entirely. They are indeed going to try to turn it over or sell the vehicle. I can't fault any of the major oil companies for trying to get themselves involved in an equipment replacement program.
But Nickerson maintains the major oil companies do bear responsibility for the problem.
Not being able to stop them. The concern of the major trucking outfits is to move their product as cheap as possible and for as large a profit as possible. And by using independents, private carriers that violate the law, run unsafe equipment, and overload their rigs, both parties are making a profit.
This double standard seems to be prevalent throughout the industry.
Larger companies, or companies that are well run, realize that preventive maintenance is cost effective. But smaller companies are a little harder pressed and they're not that intelligent. And they operate on instinct. Just keep the truck rolling. Just keep it going and don't worry about safety.
Unsafe equipment was the reason Jim Clark left his job 3 years ago with a trucking company in Chelsea, which hauls machinery.
In one instance, I brought in a trailer that had its brakes smoking. When I came off the Mystic River Bridge, I told the dispatcher about it. And he just said to park the truck. And I told him again, I said, listen, this truck is in bad shape. The smoke is pouring off him. It's just not going to make it. And he said, park the truck. They sent it out the next day, and the truck caught fire on the mast pipe.
Another common safety hazard has to do with the driver himself and the number of hours he may be at the wheel. Federal regulations will not permit a driver more than 10 consecutive hours of driving.
Where do you get on?
Fuel oil.
Let me see it fill the lady, please. You don't make a log, do you? Let me see it, please. Came on at noon?
Yep.
You didn't go all the way through to noon the next day, did you?
We had an emergency condition. We had to haul distillate from one plant to another. They had an emergency condition.
It must have been a real emergency. 24-hour period, you've been right around the clock. You're the only guy that can drive this truck? 25 consecutive hours
Dominic Pafini, a truck driver for 40 years, claims he was fired from his job with a Massachusetts trucking firm after he protested an illegal driving schedule.
They'll more or less drive you into the ground to make a few bucks, and they'll give you impossible assignments that can't be made within the hours specified by law.
Moreover, Pafini claims his former union, the Teamsters, failed to back him up in his fight against dismissal.
The union will not protect you. The Department of Transportation will not protect you, and you have actually nobody to go with. The only recourse you have is such as I have. You spend a considerable amount of money to get a lawyer and pray that that lawyer works very cheap.
Well, your biggest union is your Brotherhood of Teamsters, and they do little in the way of representing safety for their dues-paying people. They don't represent them when they go to their union reps and complain about faulty equipment and so forth. Usually the standard answer is that either you want to work, you drive it. If you don't want to work, then go home.
I would have to disagree with that statement very strongly, because I'm reasonably sure that every one of our business agents is very concerned about safety, and it would be suicide for a business agent to make a statement of that nature. Our drivers are protected by contract in that the contract provides that the employer will not require a driver to take a piece of equipment unless it is safe, and our contracts further state that the drivers cannot be disciplined or discharged for refusing to operate equipment that is unsafe.
Nevertheless, some 10,000 Teamsters are so dissatisfied with union representation on truck safety issues that they have banded together in a group outside the union called Professional Drivers Council, or PROD. The organization provides lawyers for its members and lobbies for better safety laws. Still, for the general driving public, the only real solution is stricter law enforcement. On this point, even the trucking industry agrees.
The budget and the number of personnel that the Department of Transportation now has to enforce commercial vehicle laws across the country is literally ludicrous. There is absolutely no way that the small amount of inspectors are able to adequately enforce the laws.
I would say that Massachusetts is by far and away the worst state that I have ever seen for enforcement, and I think that any truck driver that I've ever met in my entire experience with the trucking business would agree with that fully. And I have driven coast to coast all over the country, and I've sampled every state, and Massachusetts just stands out. It is unbelievable.
You take a look at the accidents that have occurred on unsafe equipment, overloaded equipment, and you find out how many people have lost their lives, and one of them could be any of the viewers, that is watching this, and only because it's negligence on our law enforcement agencies and the lack of care from the trucking industry.
We'll pause a moment here, and when we come back, one man's fight against cruelty to animals.
Try to imagine 200 million gallons of gasoline. That's how much a certain brand of motor oil could save this country per year if only one car in 15 would use it instead of typical multigrade oils. The name of this remarkable gas-saving motor oil? Uniflow from Exxon. Proven in tests after break-in to give an average of 16 extra miles per tankful. 16 extra miles may not seem like a lot until you start to add it up.
Until now, most fine German beer was shipped to America in bottles. Unfortunately, it often tasted different when it got here than when it left Germany. But now comes Würzburger Hofbrau, a fine German beer shipped here in immense airtight insulated barrels, safe from heat and oxidation. So Würzburger tastes as fresh and delicious in America as it does in Germany. Würzburger, it tastes as good here as it does there.
You look like you have 100 things to do.
101 to be exact, and I'm out of paper towels again.
Why not use Scott Towels? It has more sheets than your brand.
Oh?
There are 119 sheets on every roll.
That means I can do up to 119 jobs.
And Scott Towels can do everything you need a paper towel for. That alone is good reason to use it.
But Scott Towels gives me 119 good reasons.
Scott Towels. There are 119 good reasons to use it on every roll.
Uncle Ben's introduces America to international-style rice dishes.
French-style rice for chicken. Merci beaucoup.
Rice with mushrooms, British style. Good show, Uncle Ben's.
Indian-style curried rice. 1,000 thanks, Uncle Ben's.
Greek-style rice pilaf. Hoppa!
Uncle Ben's international-style rice dishes. Your passport to flavor.
Conrad Dennis has spent 30 years of his life caring for sick or abandoned animals. The last 10 years, he's been in Middleton, where he founded a shelter for abandoned animals. Dennis has learned a lot in those years about how people relate to their animals. And one of the things he has learned is that in a throwaway society, many people consider their pets one more disposable item. Conrad Dennis is fighting a war against what he considers to be an accepted form of violence in our society, animal cruelty. Dennis, an animal protectionist, founded a home for abandoned animals in Middleton 12 years ago after deciding to put aside a successful career as a playwright. Today, he receives up to 700 requests per week to take animals that otherwise would be abandoned or destroyed.
My motivation for opening this place was twofold. Point number one, I had a grandmother that was absolutely fantastic, a very kind woman, and she gave me this feeling about trees and oceans and animals and what have you. And I don't think there's a day that goes by that I don't think of her and her kindnesses to people and animals. Now, I was going to be a playwright, but I left that for this simply because I think that humanity should do something nice for itself once in a while. I've had everything here. You name it, I've had it. Dogs, cats, I've given ponies away, horses away, a donkey one time, a rat snake. Somebody called me up here a couple months ago, wanted to give me an elephant. I mean, where am I going to put him? You know? My high point was 120. You say, Conrad, that's too many to put on a half an acre. I agree, it is too many. I ask you again one question. I have a 10-dog license here. Let's say that I have 10 dogs here. And this little guy comes in, and he's the 11th. And the guy says, I'm going to kill him if you don't take him. What am I supposed to do? What? He's sleeping, look at him. What am I supposed to do? Tell him to give him an exit? I'm going to take him. I don't even know where to put this puppy. I'm filled up. Okay? The new edition is filled. What am I going to do with him? Am I going to... I can't refuse him. I can't sleep if I, you know.
Conrad Dennis has written 18 plays, 4 of which have been produced, but he has turned down offers to do others, including one from Hollywood, so he can continue working in animal protection. Dennis lives alone at his shelter with over 50 animals. He accepts no money directly for taking in or placing the animals. The sick and abused animals have first priority. It costs $800 to $1,200 a month to keep the shelter operating. Dennis cares for the animals along with a dedicated team of volunteers, including 8 veterinarians like Dr. Joe Nichols, who have donated over $30,000 worth of free services. Without the donations from local businesses, corporations, and individuals, Dennis would have a difficult time continuing his work. But Dennis feels that animal shelters are not the answer to animal abuse, and neither is legislation.
Animal shelters cannot handle. I think the last figure I heard in this state alone was $120,000 a year. $650 per day.
are killed in Boston. That was published in the pages of the Boston Globe. I've come years ago, I come to the realization that I can't save them all. I don't think any animal shelter is kidding themselves if they think they're going to save them all.
The most common forms of cruelty involve inadequate shelter, abandonment, physical abuse, and starvation. Dennis has seen them all, but what bothers him most is the underlying attitude of a throwaway society.
The worst time for animals is Christmas time. They think they are buying toys. These animals are not toys. You don't put batteries in it, and when the batteries wear out, you don't throw the thing down the cellar. It's a 10 to, let's say, 12, 16-year responsibility, my God. It's a member of the family. I think that inconvenience in this country is an excuse for extermination. There is no doubt in my mind. There was, you won't believe this, there was a case here 2 years ago. Typical. A man and a woman and their 17-year-old son came here. It was a Sunday. And I said, "You are Mr. Dennis?" "Yes." "Are you the man who places animals?" "Yes." "We'd like to place our dog with you." "Fine." You know, I had some room, and fine. And I asked them usual questions, but they assure me all the time now that they love this animal. I mean, they love him. You know, but if I don't take him, they're going to have him killed. Okay? The conclusions they came to, the rationales and the reasoning behind the story, in their minds, were perfectly valid. When they told me the reason for the giving up of this animal, they didn't bat an eyelash. They thought I was going to take it as a matter of course. He was an 8-month-old St. Bernard, and this is why they're going to kill him now. If I don't take him, they're going to kill him. He was an 8-month-old St. Bernard, and he was too big to fit in their compact car. Think about it. And that is typical.
The statistics reinforce what Conrad Dennis already knows, that not enough people want to take responsibility for their pets. This attitude, plus indiscriminate breeding, lack of spaying and neutering, minimal enforcement of cruelty laws, and disregard for leash laws, has caused the animal crisis to continue. Last year, the Massachusetts Society for the Prevention of Cruelty to Animals collected between 60 and 85,000 animals across the state. Approximately 25% were placed in adoptive homes. The rest were humanely destroyed. Reports of violations of animal cruelty laws and animal neglect totaled over 3,000. And the Animal Rescue League of Boston, including its branches, collected 39,000 animals in 1978. Over 5,000 found homes. The rest were humanely destroyed. The League also investigated 1,376 alleged cruelty cases. 10 cases were prosecuted.
The different types of animal abuse are varied, but the ones that come in most here are cracked pelvises, knocked out ball and socket joints. The woman who, this was an exceptional case, a woman who came here with her daughter. The dog lived until he hit my patio area, and his eyes had been stabbed out. We're finding puppies in dumpsters all over the place. Well, the legal alternatives. If you're asking me about punishment for people who commit cruelty to animals, forget it. In the 30 years, I've been all over the country. When I was in summer stock, I'd always go to the pounds to find out, you know, what dogs are there, and I'd publish something in the paper, finding a home for this, that, and the other. And, you know, in the 30 years, I've been to court over 50 times. I can't even remember the towns I was in at the time when I was in summer stock. But in all these years, I can safely say, as far as I know, some of them I didn't even wait to find out what the verdict was because I figured I already knew. But I can safely say 50 times, over 50 times, I have never gotten a conviction. Never. Now, I cannot be wrong 50 times out of 50. There is a circuit judge who came here 2 years ago on a nice sunny day here and apologized to me for his profession, the way his profession was acting.
The battle against animal cruelty isn't over for the 50-year-old Salem native. Dennis is concentrating on public awareness campaigns and programs in the schools.
In the middle of winter, the people moved out and just left her there. And she almost froze. George Angel, the founder of the MSPCA, I think had the right idea. His whole thrust, it seemed to me anyway, was education. I think he founded 2 or 3 organizations just for that purpose. You know, there should be more of it. Should be a class somehow, maybe once or twice a week in school.
This year, Dennis is also implementing a tattoo identification system. Each dog he places in an adoptive home will carry his Social Security number inside its leg. It is a painless process for the animal, and it ensures against future abandonment. And then there are blueprints for what Dennis hopes will someday be a reality. A new shelter for over 2,000 abused and abandoned dogs, cats, horses, and aging zoo animals. Someday, too, Dennis says he will write a book based on his experiences as an animal protectionist and a shelter. The theme, like that in many of his plays, will be based on the importance of kindness.
This is a horse that didn't trust men 6, 7 years ago. You're a good boy. Sweetheart, do you like Raquel Welch? Do you? You do? Are you kidding me? Are you do? Yeah? Oh, I'll be done. You old, dirty old man, you dirty old man. You like me? Huh? You like me? Yeah, you do. You're a good boy. Monday, what's 2 and 2, sweetheart? Come on, what's 2 and 2? Hurry up. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, aren't you good? What's 3 and 3? 3 and 3. 1, 2, 3. Monday, didn't you make a mistake, sweetheart? How many did you go over? How many? Oh, you're something else. You're good. Monday is a perfect example of what can be done with an abused animal, really. As we speak of kindness, my big proof is Monday on anything I say. So, Monday was abused in a riding academy. He was jumped over and over and over again. And it got to the point where they couldn't, he was so intelligent that when a saddle was being close to him, when a saddle was brought up to him, he started to act up. And he actually kicked a man right through a stall door. I merely worked with him for over 2 years. And today, of course, he's a completely different animal. People should understand what we're trying to do. There's a little bit more here that meets the eye, really. It's not a man taking care of animals. There's something a little bit more important than that here. It's, again, to perpetrate a feeling that should be in society in the first place, I think. But life is very, very, very precious.
Send me love, but song.
whistle. The Football Bundesliga 1977-78. Goals. What a wonderful feeling. The 1,014 goals scored during the 77-78 season. Bernd Gersdorf from Hertha Berlin only got 8, but he really celebrated every one of them. Some great Bundesliga goals, 1977-78. Rudi Bommer, Fortuna Dusseldorf. Manfred Kautz, Hamburg SV. Jürgen Röber, Werder Bremen. Manfred Borgsmüller, Borussia Dortmund. Klaus Fischer, FC Schalke. Roger van Gaal, FC Cologne. Gerd Seber, Fortuna Dusseldorf. Harold Konopka, FC Cologne. Hansi Müller, Stuttgart. Ronnie Worm, Duisburg. Once again, Gerd Seber, Düsseldorf. Rolf Blau, Hamburg St. Pauli. Rainer Bonhoff, Borussia Mönchengladbach. And once again, Hansi Müller from Stuttgart. But perhaps the most brilliant goal of the season was scored by Jürgen Christensen from Hertha Berlin. His brilliant individual effort once again in slow motion. The game. The Cologne-Müllersdorf Stadium at 3:30 in the afternoon on the 25th of February 1978. A capacity crowd of 61,000 made their way through the turnstiles for what was to be the decider in the German Championship. League leaders FC Cologne in the light strip against reigning champions Borussia Mönchengladbach. On the 27th day of play in the Bundesliga, the West German National League, this game was the most important of the season for both teams. Before the match, Cologne had a 4-point lead over Mönchengladbach. So a victory by the home side would have virtually decided the title race, because Mönchengladbach were the only serious rivals for FC Cologne. All other teams were at least 8 points or more behind the leaders. Naturally, with so much at stake, neither side was prepared to take any risks. And consequently, in the early stages of the match, safety first was the order of the day. During the past 10 years or so, the matches between Cologne and Mönchengladbach have nearly always been tremendously exciting. In the previous season, Borussia won both games 3-1 and 3-0. But earlier this season, Cologne won in Mönchengladbach by 5 goals to 2. Cologne had the first real chance of the game through their Belgian international winger, Roger van Gool. Van Gool was transferred from FC Bruges to Cologne in 1976 for 1 million marks. As you can see, his shot hit the outside of the post. Shortly before the interval, Borussia Mönchengladbach took the lead. Just watch in slow motion how Danish international Alan Simonsen brilliantly outwits the Cologne goalkeeper Harald Schumacher. Shortly after the break, Mönchengladbach had a great chance to go 2-0 up through their West German international Rainer Bonhoff, who, for about an hour, was the game's most outstanding player. During the 1978-79 season, Bonhoff is playing for the leading Spanish club, FC Valencia. But in the closing stages of this game, it was all one team, FC Cologne. Cologne's international centre-forward, Dieter Müller, was unlucky in this match and failed to score. Yes, Cologne against Mönchengladbach. A Bundesliga game unlike any other. Out on the pitch were no less than 16 internationals from 4 different countries. Four minutes from the end, Cologne were rewarded for their all-out offensive. After a pass from Wilmer, the Cologne captain Heinz Flohr gets the equaliser. Goalkeeper Wolfgang Kleff had no chance at all with this shot. Cologne won, Mönchengladbach won. As it turned out, this goal by Heinz Flohr was the one which earned Cologne the league championship. From 1 to 18. For the first time in the history of the Bundesliga, the league championship was decided by goal difference. Cologne plus 45, Mönchengladbach plus 42. But in fact, up until the last day of play, Cologne had a 10-goal advantage over Borussia. In their last match, Mönchengladbach beat Dortmund by the sensational score of 12 goals to 0, but it still wasn't enough. FC Cologne, league leaders since the 13th day of play, won away to Hamburg St. Pauli by 5 goals to 0, and captain Heinz Flohr scored 2 of those goals. Cologne's performance was crowned with a brilliant 5th and final goal from their Japanese international outside left, Yasuhiko Okudera. Following their victory in the cup final, this meant the double for Cologne and their 3rd National League championship. Together with Mönchengladbach, Hertha Berlin, Stuttgart and Duisburg will represent West Germany in the UEFA Cup competition. Fortuna Dusseldorf, as losing cup finalists, will play in the European Cup Winners' Cup competition, as FC Cologne will be in the European Champions' Cup competition. There's no doubt that Stuttgart caused a sensation by finishing fourth. They only gained promotion to the National League in 1977, but finished the season with the best home record. Even FC Cologne suffered a 3-0 defeat in the Stuttgart Neckar Stadium. Yes, Stuttgart were a pleasant surprise, but 5 other clubs were very disappointing. Frankfurt, Schalke, Hamburg SV, Bayern Munich and Brunswick all failed to reach their targets. In fact, Bayern Munich, 3 times winners of the European Champions Cup, were only 4 places away from the relegation zone. The reaction of the fans was natural. More often than not, the Munich Olympic Stadium was half empty. The great Franz Beckenbauer was transferred to the Cosmos of New York for 7 million marks, and Bayern searched in vain for a new sweeper, a new libero.
This is Franz Beckenbauer of the New York Cosmos. Soccer is the fastest growing sport in the United States, and players and fans, both young and old, do not miss soccer made in Germany. Every week on this public television station, I played for years in the West German Bundesliga and in the West German national team.
12th place for Bayern was a disaster. 14th place for Bochum was almost a success. No other team had as much bad luck with injuries as Bochum. Bochum had a terrible start to the season. On the first day of play, their striker, Jupp Katzow, one of the most successful in the Bundesliga, collided with the Mönchengladbach goalkeeper Kneipp. Katzow broke his leg and was out for the rest of the season. Bochum's trainer, Heinz Höhr, wanted to resign. But then Jochen Abel arrived. He scored 15 goals in 21 games and saved Bochum from relegation. Werder Bremen also just avoided relegation. Thanks in no small way to ex-international Horst-Dieter Höttges.
Horst-Dieter Höttges.
Höttges and trainer Rudi Assauer were given a great reception by the fans. Munich 1860, Saarbrücken and Hamburg St. Pauli were relegated. Munich 1860 got off to a great start, but finished on a depressing note. Star defender Jimmy Hartwig has now been transferred to Hamburg SV. The fans. For the first time in the 15-year history of the Bundesliga, a total of more than 8 million fans made their way through the turnstiles. To be exact, the 306 National League games were watched by 8,043,000 fans. Another record. Stuttgart's 17 home games in the Neckar Stadium were watched by a total of 918,000 fans. But the best crowd of the season turned up to see Hertha Berlin play FC Cologne on the 4th of March 1978. No fewer than 80,000 fans made their way into the Berlin Olympic Stadium. Curiosities. The 1977-78 season was only 70 minutes old when a unique incident occurred. The referee, Mr. Borgers, pushed the Brunswick player, Rainer Hollmann, who fell over and had to be carried off the pitch. But the referees themselves were in the wars. For example, Mr. Olmsen broke his hand, and another referee collapsed. The television reporters also had their problems. The Hungarian Julia Laurent, trainer of Bayern Munich, was fed up with our reporter and cameraman and decided to solve the problem himself. Sound interference à la Laurent. The players also provided a few curiosities. As you can see in slow motion, Bernd Gersdorf from Hertha Berlin mistook his own goal for that of the opposition. Tuna Hansen, Hamburg St. Pauli's Danish international, had no qualms about putting the ball into his own net. Schalke's international Hannes Bongas also put the ball into the wrong net in his team's game away to Bayern Munich. Saarbrücken's goalkeeper Dieter Ferner gave a special exhibition of how one should punch the ball into his own net. And Paul Holtz from Bochum gave a perfect demonstration of just how easy it is to miss a simple chance. Goalkeepers. Duck hunting. Something which Bayern Munich's goalkeeper Sepp Maier didn't have much time for during the 1977-78 season, because during this season he had to pick the ball up out of the net on no less than 64 occasions. But in spite of this, Sepp Maier, who's played in almost 450 National League games for Bayern Munich, is still the #1 goalkeeper in West Germany. Now that Bertie Vogts has finished his international career, Sepp Maier is also the captain of the West German national team. Rudi Kargas from Hamburg SV. Many people regard the 25-year-old keeper as Sepp Maier's likely successor in the national team. He was certainly one of the leading players in the Hamburg side during the 1977-78 season, and was also a member of the West German national squad at the World Championships in Argentina. One of the best and also one of the most reliable goalkeepers in the Bundesliga is now Dieter Bordensky from Werder Bremen. It was thanks to his brilliant performances that the club managed to avoid relegation. He's a fine all-round goalkeeper, and his reflexes on the line are sometimes amazing. Another first-class goalkeeper is ex-international Norbert Nigbur from Hertha Berlin. During the 1977-78 season, one goalkeeper had to take a back seat. Following Mönchengladbach's 5-2 home defeat against FC Cologne, Wolfgang Kneip has had to take his place on the substitutes bench. Wolfgang Kleff has regained his first-team place, and it was thanks to him that the Mönchengladbach defence looked a lot safer during the second half of the season. Wolfgang Kleff, by the way, has played 6 times for West Germany. Jörg Daniel from Fortuna Dusseldorf certainly had a rapid rise to fame. He was, without a doubt, the goalkeeping discovery of the 77-78 season. In 34 National League games, he conceded just 36 goals, fewer than any other National League keeper. But perhaps the goalkeeper most forwards fear, especially when it comes to taking penalties, is Swedish international Ronnie Hellström from Kaiserslautern. He has a better record of saving penalties than any other goalkeeper in the Bundesliga. And some of his saves on the line have to be seen to be believed. He is undoubtedly one of the most valuable players in the Kaiserslautern team, and was also one of Sweden's leading players at the World Championships in Argentina. Every month, the West German television company, the ARD, hold a Goal of the Month competition. And at the end of the year, they show these goals and also show you what they think is the goal of the year as well. And in a few moments, we'll be joining my colleague in the studio, Hans Huberti. There he is, introducing the goal scorer of the year, Klaus Fischer. We're going to be showing you his goals. He was voted goal scorer of the month twice, and one of them was voted goal of the year. He's been given a gold medal for receiving, or for being voted the goal scorer of the year for the second time, by the way. 1977 goal of the year from Klaus Fischer. But here are the goals of the months. January 77, as you can see, Manfred Borgsmüller playing for Borussia Dortmund against Karlsruhe. And look at that header. He was going the wrong way, flicked it round. Beautiful. There's the cross. Watch that again. Going back, but still getting in the header. Goal of the month. February now. And this is Lawrence Hilkes playing for the second division team Fürth against Homburg. Another brilliant goal. Look at that header there from Lawrence Hilkes. March. Rainer Bonhoff, we all know him. And what a shot that is. Interesting, by the way, that was against Brunswick in Mönchengladbach last year, March 77. All of 30 meters. Just watch this tremendous shot. The goal of the month, March 77. Rainer Bonhoff, Franke, no chance. April, again Borussia Mönchengladbach, Jürgen Wittkamp. There's Wittkamp. Appeal for handball by Simonsen. The ball comes back in, and there's Wittkamp playing for Borussia Mönchengladbach against Dynamo Kiev in the semi-final of the European Cup. The shot from Wittkamp blocked there. Comes out to the wing. The Mönchengladbach players appealing for handball, but then suddenly the ball comes back in from Wimmer. And there's Wittkamp with the diving header. That was April. And now May. Courtyara playing for Duisburg. And look at that overhead kick. Incredible. Courtyara, Austrian international, took the pass from Ronnie Worm in the West German National League game against Saarbrücken. There's Worm. Really an amazing goal there by Courtyara. This is June 77. Mexico versus West Germany. And the diving header by Klaus Fischer in the pouring rain, which earned Germany a 2-2 draw against the Mexicans. There's the cross, and there's Klaus Fischer. Beautiful diving header. July 77, Jan Højlund Nielsen playing for Munich 1860 against Bielefeld. Look at that. Tremendous shot from about 25 metres right into the corner of the net. August 77, Carlos Babington, the Argentinian international, with a tremendous left-footed shot, playing for second division Wattenscheid against Fortuna Cologne. And what a hammer that was. Here it is again, Carlos Babington. We all know who that is, don't we? Alan Simonsen, and there he goes. Picks up the ball halfway inside his own half. Playing for Borussia Mönchengladbach in the European Cup against Vasas Budapest of Hungary. And look at that shot. Incredible goal there by Simonsen. European Footballer of the Year, 1977. There he is again. And he did it again in October. Alan Simonsen, there he is. Beautiful 1-2 with Heinkes. And just watch how he beats Franke. This, by the way, was also against Brunswick. Mönchengladbach must like playing against them. Naturally, he's delighted. Betty Folk started it. There's Simonsen. Wimmer, Simonsen again to Heinkes, the 1-2. Incredible goal. Franke, no chance at all. Goal number 11. November 77, the goal of the year. Abramczyk for Germany against Switzerland. Klaus Fischer with that overhead kick. Incredible goal. That's the goal of the year. Scored by Klaus Fischer for Germany against Switzerland. His Schalke teammate Abramczyk with the cross. Schalke centre forward Klaus Fischer with his back to the goal for West Germany. Really incredible. And there is Klaus Fischer, and if you want his autograph, write to Bergmannstrasse 158A 4650 Gelsenkirchen in West Germany. Trainers. The trainer's bench. It looks pretty safe and secure, doesn't it? But sometimes it's a real hot seat. Still, the men who sit on it always have plenty to say. Detmar Kramer. Hennes Weisweiler. Heinz Herr. Jürgen Zundermann. Rudi Gutendorf. Heinz Herr again. Kuno Klötzer.
Soll ruhig bleiben da.
And Arkoč Učan. But in the 1978-79 season, his job with Hamburg SV has been taken over by the Yugoslav Branko Cebec. Still, the man who's really in charge in Hamburg is Günter Netzer. Once a world-class player in his own right, today Hamburg's manager. FC Schalke also have a new trainer during the new season. First of all, Friedel Rausch was the coach during the 77-78 season, and then his place was taken by Uli Maslow. Now the man in charge is the Yugoslav trainer Ivica Horvat. Surprises. During the 77-78 season, Hamburg St. Pauli gained only one away victory, and that, believe it or not, was against local rivals Hamburg SV. 50,000 fans in the Hamburg Volkspark Stadium couldn't believe it when Franz Gerber gave St. Pauli the lead in the 30th minute. The man who was marking Gerber, Hamburg's international defender Peter Nogli, said before the game that St. Pauli didn't stand a chance. But then, 2 minutes from the end, Wolfgang Köpke made it 2-0 to provide a real sensation. Hamburg SV, ex-winners of the European Cup Winners' Cup, were beaten. There was also a sensational result in the match between ex-world and European champions Bayern Munich and local rivals Munich 1860. At first, everything went according to plan. 1-0 for Bayern through Rummenigge, although trainer Detmar Kramer doesn't look too happy. And shortly after the interval, he had even less reason to look happy when Peter Scheller got the equalizer for 1860. Five minutes from the end, Kohlhoffel made it 2-1 for 1860, and seconds before the final whistle, it was Scheller again who got the third goal for the underdogs, who were really cheered by the capacity crowd. 6 weeks previous to this, the fans in the Olympic Stadium had been cheering on Bayern Munich as they took Schalke apart to the tune of 7-1. This victory was even more remarkable because after only 30 minutes, the Bayern defender, Sepp Weiss, was sent off. And so it was 10 Bayern players against 11 from Schalke. But it seemed the opposite. Bayern were in control throughout. Just watch their fifth goal, scored by the greatest of all strikers, Gerd Müller. On the 13th day of play, Brunswick conceded their highest ever home defeat. They were beaten by Borussia Mönchengladbach and especially by the great little Dane Alan Simonsen. Look at this first goal in the second minute. In the 34th minute, goal number 2. And in the 43rd minute, the icing on the cake. Following a lovely 1-2 with Hankes, Alan Simonsen makes it 3-0, a hat-trick which you don't see every day. Eintracht Frankfurt also suffered a severe home defeat. In the Frankfurt Waldstadium, the home side were given a demonstration on how to score goals by Hertha Berlin's Danish strike forward, Jürgen Christensen. The final score was 5-0 for Hertha Berlin, who at the end of the season finished third behind FC Cologne and Borussia Mönchengladbach. Personalities. Paul Breitner. The ex-West German international was transferred from Real Madrid to Brunswick for about 1.6 million marks. He has now returned to the club where it all started for him, to Bayern Munich. Kevin Keegan. This world-class player is the first English footballer to play in the Bundesliga. Hamburg SV paid Liverpool more than 2 million marks for Kevin Keegan, who is now the star of the Hamburg club. Hansi Müller. He was the real discovery of the 77-78 season. Through his brilliant performances, the 20-year-old midfield player from Stuttgart gained a place in the West German national squad at the World Championships in Argentina. Hansi Müller is not only a creator of goals, he can also score them. Gerd Müller. He twice received the award, the Golden Boot, for being Europe's leading goal scorer. So far, he's been the leading goal scorer in the Bundesliga on no less than